Let us pray together. Father, as we come to you today, we're very thankful for the freedom we have as Americans. We ask that you bless us in this meeting, lead, guide, and direct us, and help us to do good things to help those that we serve. In Jesus' name, amen.
Chairman Treadaway. Here. Representative Brigsby. Senator Gudger. Mr. Shedd.
Here.
Senator Singleton. Senator Bell. Representative Tillman. Commissioner Boswell.
Here.
Director Brasfield. Here. Director Cochran. Director Matt Russell. Here. Captain Jeremy Burkett. We have a quorum.
As we left last time, there was a lot of work that was being done. LSA was working on our final report. The Department of Mental Health did an incredible job putting together many of the things that we asked. And with that, I will turn it over to Jeff, where we're at right now, and go over the report. If there's any questions, you should have received one electronically. Those that are here, received a hard copy. Today is the day for your input and any questions.
Okay. Can everybody hear me? This is a drafted report that must be submitted no later than the third legislative day. So we're probably looking at the latest at next Thursday for submission of this report. This is the first such report I've done. This was, it's in a format that LSA commonly uses. So the overall purpose of the report, of course, is to demonstrate to the President Pro Tem and to the Speaker of the House that the Commission was faithful to its charge as delivered in the original Act 2025-435, and basically fulfilled what it was asked to do. So in putting together a report like this, the original material, the actual substance of the report is in what are the introduction and the discussion sections. And so you want to provide, one wants to provide a good discussion of the highlights of everything that the study commission considered over the course of its meetings over the course of the past 5 or 6 months, without getting too granular. If somebody reviewing the report wants to really look at the detail, they can look at the meeting minutes, because those are going to be all presented in an appendix. So the introduction simply is a description of what PTSD is, followed by the fact that first responders are, and they're particularly susceptible to PTSD, and what some of the dangers and the social costs are of allowing PTSD to go untreated among first responders. The discussion itself commences with a summary of what the study commission was requested to do by the legislature, and that is to study how state, county, and municipal governments may utilize available funding more effectively to provide services to first responders who have acquired PTSD solely from an isolated and extraordinarily traumatic event that occurred while acting within the line and scope of his or her duty. And so it discusses in the second paragraph on what is now page 5, what the unique challenge of the study commission has been, and that has been the fact that the commission has been requested to do everything within the constraint of available funding that's already there. So immediately on page 5 in the discussion, there's a discussion of the questionnaire that was developed by Co-Chair Rigsby that was sent out to the various first responder, law enforcement, and fire organizations, the fact that those reports were completed. And then towards the bottom of page 5, there are key insights from the survey responses that were gleaned by the study commission. The need for better communication for first responders about available mental health resources, the fact that health insurance that's provided through the local government health care insurance program does include mental health treatment, the importance of peer support, and the fact that the reality that a lot of these current problems kind of operate in isolation from one another, which means that there can be a lot of inefficiency and there can be gaps in what we might call the continuum of care. So I would appreciate if you all would look over this discussion. If there's anything that you feel that is very significant, and I stress very significant to what the commission has considered in the meetings, that is not in the discussion, that you let me know so we can include that. Then on page 6 and the bottom page 5 to page 6, we discuss the commission's work in the meetings at the end of September and upon November 18th. There was a lot of discussion at the September meeting about peer support and the fact that peer support, as effective as it is often not enough, and that there needs to be intervention from, there's a clinical need. A lot of first responders have to go up that next rung of care, so to speak, to see somebody who's a mental health professional. And that's where the mental health, the 6 regional mental health crisis centers come into play. And so the discussion roughly from the middle of page 6 to where the current draft ends on page 7 is about the November 18th meeting, at which we had very, very comprehensive presentations from Commissioner Boswell about what PTSD is, and also from April Turner and David White of the Department of Rehabilitation Services about the correlation between PTSD and traumatic brain injury. Those bullet points that you see at the bottom of page 6 discuss the poster developed by the Department of Mental Health for distribution to first responders with the QR codes where they can directly link to Connect Alabama mental health resources or to one of the regional crisis centers. All of these things, the questionnaires, the presentations by Commissioner Boswell and the Department of Rehabilitation Services are all going to be included in the appendices to the report. So, as you can see, it's unfinished. The discussion section is going to conclude with what the commission considers today and the action taken by the commission today. I want to especially direct your attention to what is currently on page 8. And at the top, we have action. In other words, a tangible action that the study commission accomplished as part of its work. And of course, that's the information poster with the direct links to Connect Alabama and to the regional mental health crisis centers. Also the 988 suicide and crisis hotline, and the fact that these materials are going to be publicized and disseminated by the Association of County Commissions and the League through their member first responder departments. And then, as you can see down here, there are recommendations. There's a recommendation section as well that can be filled out with things that you all think are significant that need to go under that section. Currently what I have is the importance of screening for traumatic brain injury that came up at the last meeting as something that is really part of the gold standard for PTSD intervention to make sure that traumatic brain injury is determined before prescribing any medication, for example. And if you go past that, you can see, of course, the cover sheets for all the appendices. They're going to be included in the report. This morning we have a very interesting submission from mental health as well about a communication plan to distribute and to publicize some of these resources. And of course, that can go into another appendix to the report as well. So that's an overview. Please look over this. We'd like to get it completed really by the first day of the session next Tuesday. And so if there's anything in there that you think is significant that is omitted, please let me know.
Any comments, questions? Jeff, regarding the final report, now the minutes of this meeting will be added also. And this will be the time if you have any questions. Everybody's had a chance to review the report. Not seeing none, I'll go ahead and move on to the Boswell report.
Great. Well, Happy New Year, everybody, and thank you, Mr. Chairman. I do want to draw your attention to a document you have in front of you. We'll send this out via email as well. We may have already sent it, but it is a spring conference around brain, behavior, and mind. Many of you may recall at the last meeting, I talked about PTSD being primarily a brain issue. And so the science behind that is continually developing, and this is the latest and best information about how the brain, behavior, and mind work together. So did want to share that with the committee, and you feel free to share it with your staff, feel free to share it with your organizations. It is a virtual session. It's fascinating to me. It might not be fascinating to everybody else. But we do know so much more about the impact of trauma on the brain and how to fix that. So it's a very interesting, some of the best, most well-known professionals, Dr. Bruce Perry in particular, it is just a phenomenal resource when it comes to the brain science, particularly as it relates to PTSD. And with that, I'm going to turn it over to Melissa Valdez, who is going to walk you through the document, the other document you have in front of you, the communications plan.
Yes, and would you like me to mention the Connect Alabama? Yeah. An update on the Connect Alabama app is that in March, they're going to be reformatting and coming out with a kind of a new look and a new, better layout and accessibility within the app. Vital Alabama does manage the Connect Alabama app. In the meantime, we'll be further organizing the first responder resources that your committee has discussed, including peer support information and other links to collate and give to Vital Alabama, and then they will add those into the app with the relaunch of the app in March. That's their estimated date. So that's kind of where it is with Connect Alabama. Regarding the communication plan, you do have the full document in front of you, which I did do this in collaboration with the League of Municipalities and the Association of County Commissions staff in order to make sure that we were really getting that broad municipal look on the way that we could reach people where they are and where they work. And so the purpose of this, and I just turned the wrong page. Here we go. The purpose of it, we know, as Jeff spoke, that first responders experience the exposure to trauma, increases PTSD risks, burnout, and possible suicide. So this plan focuses on the existing resources so that it's easier for them to be told about it, communicated, and then actually access those resources for treatment. Communication objectives are listed there: raising awareness, normalizing the help-seeking behavior so that you feel that you can reach out, but that you do have information posted in, a first responder would have information posted in their station and their break rooms, and they could do that and utilize that QR code on the flyer, as was mentioned, anonymously. They can call 988. It is confidential and 24/7. Promote the Connect Alabama app, 988 crisis centers, and just keep delivering that messaging through trusted partners. Our key audiences are, again, people who are working in different realms of first responder positions, and again, also mental health partners and people that are in the mental health world as well. Veterans as well may be working or may be retired, but they're also a key audience. Our core messages are the messages that you've seen throughout the committee meetings. the one that Commissioner Boswell went in detail about last meeting, which was, something that we have to think about is the science as well, and how people can respond, in addition to that TBI information, which is included in our materials and deliverables. I wrote primary partners and then additional networks. Everybody's really a primary partner, but the ones that did help us with this report are listed there. And we did, again, speak to the local government insurance is it program? Maybe program instead of board. They were very happy to be part of it. Also, the Alabama Association of Volunteer Fire Departments was ecstatic on Friday when I spoke to them about it. They were happy to share as well. I've spoken to NAMI Alabama with their CIT training with Johnny Hollingsworth, and he'll be sharing this in his trainings. He goes around the state and speaks to thousands of police officers every year. So I think that through all of those and more, I'm open to, please tell me more organizations that we may have missed, and we'll constantly be adding those to the list of communication with the plan and the resources. All these partners have a direct link to a Google Drive, which is listed on the last page of your communication plan. And that drive will be updated with new information. We have new graphics. The flyers are in there. They're in color and black and white. I did them in black and white so that stations could print in black and white, not have to worry about having a color printer, and they still look good. And then we have tons of social media graphics regarding each individual program. We have the number for the TBI assessment, the link to crisis centers, et cetera. So lots of fun deliverables to give out and to share. And there's another listing of some of them. And that's just an example social media graphic regarding Vital's first responder page, which is one of the resources we spoke about. And so something like that, we've made several. We've put them in the drive. People have already downloaded stuff from the drive. So we're happy to do that. We did write a full page article with ALM's help and just to put in newsletters just describing the work of communication for PTSD. So just, we've been very thorough, I believe, but we can continue to do more, including going to events and conferences and have our information on tables there, these flyers printed, maybe put in programs for different conferences that you all might be involved in and more. Updating the Connect Alabama app. And then implementation really has begun. The content development, as I said, is well into it. We might find more stuff to promote, such as we're going to make a graphic for peer support information with links and meeting places for that. So we will continue to go through this implementation process with our partners, just making sure that we're reaching as many people as we can in whatever way that we can. We will measure the success through some quantitative and qualitative metrics that we find throughout the year. We keep up with many of these already, such as the use of 988, and it does delineate veteran calls on the 988 metrics, and so that may be helpful as we go through it. And then just the impact of this, obviously, is we feel it will be accepted, communicated, heard about well, and then we feel people will actually, utilize this in order to reduce stigma, actually go out there and get help, create the mental health resilience that they need in order to help with PTSD or whatever items may come up for them. But all this is listed in much more detail in the communication plan. So I thank you for letting me do this. It was fun. I had a great time collaborating with our partners. And if you have any suggestions, feel free to email me or, of course, Commissioner Boswell's office, and we'll include them in the plan and additional graphics and social media promotion of the plan. Thank you.
Very impressed with what was put together. I didn't know there were so many different services out there in different parts of the state, and there was no
I've been,
a
ca-
much higher paying job.
I've been called worse. Well, first of all, President Pro Tem Garland Gudger asked me and wants me to thank you and then Vice Chair, Commissioner Boswell and her wonderful team and everybody, all the agencies involved. This particular issue is very important to Senator Gudger, and he has done work, as you know, many of you know, on this topic with veterans, and even pilot funding for help with that. And so he wants me to say thank you very much for all that's been done toward this with this commission.
Um, I think for me, one of the big takeaways, Mr. Chairman, is the amazing work that was going on that at least I'll speak for Sonny Brassville, that we really didn't realize um, the labor of love and passion that was already out there, and people who um, were dedicating their time and energy to try to help those who were struggling with the aftermath of events that occur, trying to take care of all of us. I think you and the co-chair have done a tremendous job in moving this discussion um, into the field of let's highlight what we have, let's make what we have better, and let's try to communicate uh, to those who need the assistance. I think at the county level, what we see very often, Mr. Chairman, is officers and others who are struggling with these issues and believe they are alone. Um, and this communication plan is outstanding. I'll put my old PR guy's hat on from the 1980s. I think your staff has done a fabulous job, Commissioner. We look forward in helping you continue this momentum, and things don't stop today. Think that honestly today's just kind of the beginning of us trying to focus better attention and work better together on the commissioner's staff is sick and tired of the county association. We have worked, we've worked more closely in the last 24 months than in the previous 24 years put together. And the commissioner deserves an enormous amount of credit for that. And, we're making progress, Mr. Chairman, and I appreciate your passion about this and the time and the expertise that you have placed in getting us to where we are. And just thank you very much. Comments? Any other members of the commission?
Yes.
Go ahead. Who is that?
Yeah,
Oh, Tillman, Representative Tillman.
Yeah. And I just want to pretty much echo the same sentiments that I've heard. I think this has been a very eye-opening commission for me. I want to say thank you to all of the members, all of the agency and the stakeholders for the hard work that they have done through this commission. And plus, all of the stuff that is already out there that didn't have any idea about, this is great. I think it's great work and it's much needed. So I just really want to echo the same thing.
Thank you, Representative Tillman, and thank you for your legislation last year actually getting this up off the ground and running. So I appreciate that. Anyone else? If not, I will entertain a motion. The work of this commission is over with at the point that Jeff finishes his report and we submit it to the House and the Senate.
Mr. Chairman, so move.
Motion by Representative Shedd, second by What? I got a promotion. Look at me. All in favor indicate by saying aye. Aye. All opposed? Aye. All opposed? Ayes have it. Thank you.
Okay.